Did you know that fatty acids are the building blocks of the fat in our bodies and in the food we eat? During digestion, the body breaks down fats into fatty acids, which can then be absorbed into the blood. Fatty acid molecules are usually joined together in groups of 3, forming a molecule called a triglyceride. There are physical properties of fatty acids, which includes solubility and melting points. In solubility, it consists of longer chains and is more hydrophobic and less soluble. In melting points, it depends on chain length and saturation. The length of the carbon chain in a fatty acid is important in determining things like water solubility and melting or boiling points. Long carbon chains are nonpolar, and things with long carbon chains on them do not dissolve in water. Short-chain fatty acids are slightly water-soluble because the carboxyl group or COOH is polar. There are factors responsible for solubility of fatty acid. First, hydrocarbon chain length. Second, degree of unsaturation, number of double bonds. Third, hydrophobicity or polarity of fatty acids. Fourth, polarity of solvents. In addition, small hydrocarbon chain lengths are less hydrophobic and more soluble. Long-chain fatty acid and VLCFA more hydrophobic or less soluble. Solubility of fatty acids decreases with increase in fatty acid hydrocarbon chain length. Double bonds increases solubility. Melting points also increase with increasing molar mass or London forces, so the longer the carbon chain, the higher the melting point of the fatty acid. The presence of double bonds or all-cis stereochemistry lowers the melting point or makes it easier for the fatty acid to melt because these double bonds cause the molecule to become bent or less attractions between chains. There are factors responsible for melting points of fatty acids. First, hydrocarbon chain length. Second, nature of bonds. Third, degree of unsaturation or number of double bonds. Additional information of the fatty acids with decreased melting points. Short and unsaturated fatty acids has low melting point. More degree of unsaturation, low, is melting point of fatty acids. Here is the melting points affected by chain length. The longer the chain, the higher the melting temperature is. Another information about the fatty acids with increased melting points. Long and saturated fatty acids has high melting point. Less degree of unsaturation, more is melting point of fatty acids. Therefore, melting point of fatty acids increases with increase in chain length of fatty acids. Decreases with decrease in chain length of fatty acids. Increases with low unsaturation of fatty acids. And lastly, decreases with more unsaturation of fatty acids. Now, here is the structures and melting points of saturated fatty acids.